Do you know what a bounty hunter is?
You kill people, and they give you a reward.
Better they are, bigger the reward.
Quentin Tarintino is someone who can only, in my mind, can only really be described as Marmite. You really do either love him or hate him.
I was really looking forward to Django Unchained, and it definitely didn't disappoint.
I really enjoyed it. I thought the film was great.
I thought it was brilliant. One of the best films of the year already, and it's only February.
I think Django Unchained was probably one of the best films that I've seen in such a long time.
Christopher Waltz's performance was absolutely stunning in this film.
I think the standout performance for me would probably be Samuel L. Jackson. It's a character that really has to be seen to be believed.
The acting talent, in particular, Jamie Foxx and Christoph Waltz, was like, oh, amazing.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Westerns at the moment seem to be kind of a dying breed.
He put an incredible spin on the Western genre, which is not really being touched on recently.
His former film was like a Jewish revenge film from set in World War II, and so this one was black slavery trade revenge film.
I called my wife. They sold him, but I don't know who to.
Calvin Candy. That's the repellent gentleman who owns her.
I should say it's set in the South, so technically it's not a Western, it's a Southern, and even at the end of the film it's like going to be the fastest gun in the South. So, I mean, it's got all the conventions of a Western, but it's a Southern.
The amount of genres they put into this one film, it's like having a packet of Rebels and never knowing what you're going to get next.
You know, Quentin Tarantino wrote the role for Will Smith, which I think would have made it horribly like a Wild Wild West sequel with more blood.
I don't think anyone else could get away with putting gangster rap in the middle of a Western and have it completely work.
It was brilliant. Like the comedy timing was absolutely perfect. So, I mean, the bag scene for me was probably the highlight of the film.
Anyone bring any extra bags?
No, nobody brought an extra bag.
I'm just asking.
I'd say the film probably dragged a little bit in the middle, but that's really splitting hairs. I think it was a really, really well-made film.
The one thing that I wasn't too keen on was the fact that they dragged the ending out.
What I feel like this film lacked, which Inglourious Bastard had, were those really tense scenes where it just builds and builds and builds and it becomes agonising until it just pops and there's an incredible climax and it's just over in seconds.
I felt like it could have ended 4 times because there was about 4 different sections, but I didn't get bored at all.
It's impossible to ignore the amount of times that characters say the N-word. Yes, it's keeping current to its times.
I spent my whole life surrounded by black faces. I only had one question. Why don't they just rise up and kill the whites?
Who knows what's gonna happen?
I loved Django Unchained.
And definitely something you need to go and see on the big screen.
Even if you're not a Tarantino fan or you're not into those sort of films, it's still a joy to watch.
Out of 5, probably give it a 4.
I'd probably give it a 4.5 purely because it's not as good as other Tarantino films like the likes of Kill Bill and Inglourious.
It's just incredible. I mean, I'd give it 4 stars because it really has got a bit of everything.
In my world, you gotta get dirty. So that's what I'm doing. I'm getting dirty.
What's your name?
Django. The D is silent.
Adult supervision is required.
I enjoyed that movie. You're welcome.